Hello guys, Gameboy0012 here once again with a video you probably didn't expect to see. Yes, I did say I was going to do the movie review last Sunday, but I decided to postpone it indefinitely because more info needs to be gathered so that I know what I'm talking about and I don't look like a complete noob. And thankfully, that's the reason why. Thankfully, YouTube is not being a troll anymore. I can get my uploads up as soon as possible. Okay, I'm just babbling. What I'm trying to say is I'm able to get my videos up normally now, so YouTube is not being a troll. But I do not trust them. They're bound to strike in the future, so yeah, I'm anticipating that. Nonetheless, instead, I'm bringing to you, as you saw by the title, Gameboy0012 Talks Football. The aim of this video is to talk about the recent stories that have come up in the world of professional soccer that I felt needed to be discussed on YouTube rather than just in the forum zones. And by the way, if you wonder why I keep looking up screen, is because I'm just watching a basketball game between two teams I frankly never heard of in my life. They're European teams, but I have never heard of them before. Anyway, currently I'll be focusing on the Barclays Premier League in these videos, and I'll be focusing on the stories and headlines that catch my eye, and they'll be brought into view here. Moving forward, I will expand beyond the Premier League. I'll still be doing Premier League headlines and news, but I'll also be discussing other headlines as well. Let's first find out what's going on at the Emirates Stadium. The contract of Arsenal's 23-year-old midfielder turned striker Theo Walcott is due to expire in the summer. For the few of you that aren't familiar with Walcott, I'll give you the skinny. Walcott was brought from Southampton after only a season there and was considered a big gamble by Wenger, considering his young age. He only played one season in Southampton. He only played 21 matches, and he wasn't expected to make too big of an impact. But Walcott did prove his critics wrong, and 6 years later, he has made 163 appearances and has scored 31 goals for Arsenal. Back to the matter of his contract, he has, in my mind, been stalling a renewal for some time, which begs the question, does he want to stay at Arsenal? With the likes of Arsene Wenger and Jack Wilshere, who himself sealed a new deal at the Emirates, imploring him to continue his career at Arsenal, all eyes are on the English international, as it is ultimately Theo's decision whether he stays or whether he goes. Walcott has stated his preference to starting in attack rather than in midfield, and with his contract renewal in question, Wenger took a gamble and placed Walcott in the win against Reading some 10 days ago. He played well and managed to get on the score sheet, but had an average game in the win against Wigan. In my view, personally, as long as Wenger keeps Walcott happy by playing him and letting him adapt in attack, Walcott gets support from players like Lucas Podolski and Santi Cazorla, and good results happen, then I see the possibility of Walcott signing a new deal. To be honest, Arsene Wenger can't afford to lose Walcott. Should Wenger keep Theo at Arsenal, at Arsenal, Walcott will join the likes of Cesc Fabregas, Alex Song, and Robert van Persie, and a list of great players who left the Gunners for more money and a chance to play a bigger role on a bigger stage. Going over to Stamford Bridge, Chelsea's striker and winger Daniel Sturridge is in question for the Blues. The 23-year-old has made 63 appearances and has scored 13 goals for Chelsea, but the Blues will be looking to offload the Birmingham-born player to Liverpool. Liverpool and Chelsea are both in dire straits, per my opinion, to get a solid striker to help in attack, and I think that Liverpool will benefit greatly from having the options that Sturridge will give them alongside talents like Raheem Sterling and Luis Suarez. There is Also, another striker in the squad apart from Sterling and Suarez, his name is Franco Borini. Frankly, I never heard of Borini before. He hasn't made that much of an impact in Liverpool, in my opinion. In my opinion, Brendan Rodgers should send on Borini on loan and see if he can get some valuable match experience. Because if you don't start well in the English Premier League, you're likely to get a lot of criticism. And I have seen some bright moments from Borini, but he needs to get some experience. A loan spell should help him with that. I also hope that it is. I heard that there's gonna be like a 12 million pound deal to send Sterling to Liverpool. So I hope that Rafael Benitez and Chelsea take the 12 million pounds and spend it wisely if they want to get a solid striker who takes his chances when he gets them, and so that they don't have to rely on players like Fernando Torres, who honestly, as a lot of other people also think, is light years away from the player that he was at Liverpool. True, he's had an upgrade in form and has tied Juan Mata as the highest goal scorer for Chelsea this season with 7 goals, but we have to see if he can remain consistent. One of the main problems Torres has had for the past couple of seasons at Chelsea is he cannot keep his consistency up. He fails to be consistent when it matters most. So what I basically mean is Chelsea should get someone who is worth the money, no offense Fernando, and can have the influence players like Didier Drogba and Nicolas Anelka had when they were at Chelsea. Next stop, Etihad Stadium. A very intriguing article published 4 days ago has me both excited and concerned. The article talked about Manchester City's flight to Brazil and their negotiations over Neymar, about a deal over 30 million pound, worth over 30 million pounds. I think it was like 32 million pound deal for Neymar. 32 million pounds. I mean, wow, just wow, mind blown. The fact that City already have firepower in the likes of Sergio Aguero, Edin Dzeko, and Carlos Tevez is staggering enough. Add Neymar to that mix, City will probably boast the strongest attack in the Premier League, though they still would even without Neymar, but it'll be a lot stronger. Coincidentally, a striker rumored to be on his way out of City, unsurprisingly in my opinion, is Mario Balotelli. So it will be very interesting to see Neymar in action in England, as well as how he'll cope with the pressure of being at such a big club and at such a big stage like the Barclays Premier League. That's the reason why I'm excited. I'm concerned because if you can imagine just the amount of turmoil, physical and mental turmoil, the defenses of the other 19 teams will have to endure getting ripped apart when playing defense, picked back in midfield, and shut out time after time in attack. You have to probably be shaking like a leaf if you're Queen's Park Rangers or Reading. A deal has not been confirmed, but it will give managers an extensive period of thought of who they might need to add to their squad defensively, change their mentality, or just play their natural game and try to counter the looming danger of the Brazilian burst, Neymar. And the final stop is Old Trafford. Now I must warn you beforehand. You might sense some favoritism here because Manchester United is indeed my favorite team, but I'll make sure there's very little of it. In an article I read, it stated that Rio Ferdinand, Paul Scholes, and Ryan Giggs will be leaving United after the end of this season. I was shocked when I first heard the news, but as it started to sink in as time went on, I realized it had been coming for a while. You know, I'll start first with Rio Ferdinand. He's got 285 United appearances, 6 goals, 34 years old. He's been at the helm of the United defense since 2002, a decade ago. and has formed a solid partnership with Serbian defender Nemanja Veric. Injuries have hindered him for the past couple of seasons, though, and he hasn't been the rock-solid player that we all know he is. He could be looking for another club, but I, as well as many other United fans, hope he will finish his career at Manchester United. In regards to Scholes, who has 487 appearances, 105 goals, and is of 38 years of age, and Giggs, who has 648 appearances, 112 goals, and is of 39 years of age. They started their careers in 1993 and 1990 respectively, and have played their entire careers for Manchester United. It's speculated that Paul Scholes is planning to retire for the second and final time at the end of the season and take up a coaching position at United, while Ryan Giggs is looking to take up a couple of triathlons. I think that's how you say it, triathlons. Anyhow, if Ferdinand decides to leave and if Scholes and Giggs decide to retire, there is no doubt that I and every other United fan will never forget their amazing contributions. They've been huge present. They've created a huge presence over the entire Manchester United team. Their experience, just their overall skill, their just ability to both Ferdinand's ability to both be a rock at in the defense, make key interceptions, play headers, and just also be a menace in attack. And Giggs and Scholes' ability to create chances out of midfield, make key passes, and just be dangerous in attack and also track back in defense. All three players possess a lot of quality, and if all three of them decide to both leave and retire, then it will be a huge blow to United defensively and also in midfield. It will be a blow in every area basically. They have such a big presence that every part of United will be hurting, but if Ferdinand decides to leave and Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes both decide to retire, then I wish them the best. I want to thank them for all their hard work in United, but there's still the rest of this season to go, so hopefully they'll be able to put up some good performances. Hope Ferdinand will stay. Hope that Scholes and Giggs have at least a season left in them. If not, that's their decision. I respect them for it, and I just want to say thank you to Rio Ferdinand, Ryan Giggs, and Paul Scholes. Thank you guys. Yeah, and that is all there is for this video. Let me tilt that. Okay, that is all there is for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, wait a minute. Actually, if I'm basically testing out this kind of video, I'm hoping that it gets a lot of views. I hope it gets a lot of comments. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know when the next video. I'm hoping to make this into a long series. I don't know when the next video for this one will be. I need to look into other articles to see what's interesting for me to talk about on this series. And when I find the next 4 articles to talk about, I'll make another video. Hopefully it'll be soon. And who knows, I might actually talk about more than 4 things. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of things to work out, and a lot of angles I can try with this. So yeah, as usual, like, comment, subscribe, and peace. Game Boy out.